A little preview of what's coming up. Hello and welcome back. This is DVDs That I Like, part 11. And I'm filming this in early April of 2009. Going through my binder of movies here in Japan that I have on DVD. Okay, we're kind of in the middle of the letter S. And maybe I'll try to go a little bit faster here. The next movie up is Shanghai Noon. Which is a really fun little action picture with Owen Wilson at his goofy, lovable best. Just great comic one-liners teamed with Jackie Chan. I love Jackie Chan. I'm a huge Jackie Chan fan. Like all my friends, at the time in the Bay Area when Rumble in the Bronx came out, I'm like, you guys, which was really Jackie's American film debut if you don't count things like Cannonball Run 2. I'm like, you have to go see, this movie. This guy is amazing. And then Rumble in the Bronx was just so-so, but I gained back their confidence when Super Cop came out, which is probably one of his all-time best movies and also stars the incredible Michelle Yeoh. So if you haven't seen Super Cop or Police Story 3, as it's known in other parts of the world, that's an amazing Jackie Chan movie. And of course Jackie is now getting older and not as able to do his own stunts, but I think he still is got some great comic timing and just great personality. And I'll suffer through, even things like Rush Hour 2 and stuff just for him. But Shanghai Noon is actually a really, really charming movie. It's a Western. And they just have a lot of fun with the whole cultural differences and China and America, etc. And even Shanghai Nights, the sequel where they go to London, and he does a riff on Singin' in the Rain and some other things in that movie, and a lot of Chaplin references and Buster Keaton references. But yeah, Shanghai Noon, the first one, is really top-notch film. I highly recommend it. Okay, next is one of my all-time favorite movies, Shakespeare in Love. So Shakespeare in Love is kind of now in, say 10 years later or whatever. Well, let's see if it tells me what year did it come out. Sorry guys, let me just scan the DVD here real quick. Dun, 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 dun. It's not saying. Okay, I know it came out, about 10 years ago. Anyway, it's kind of getting a bad rap now because it won the Academy Award for Best Picture of the Year the same year that Saving Private Ryan was nominated. And a lot of people now in revisionist history thinking are going back and saying, well, obviously, look, the Academy screwed up. Saving Private Ryan is clearly the more memorable movie, etc. And, you can argue that, and we can talk about Saving Private Ryan. It's a movie that's up there. Not in the binder, I own them both. I like Saving Private Ryan. There is a major flaw in Saving Private Ryan, which I will save to talk about until I actually get it down off the shelf and discuss it, that I think keeps it from being a great movie. But you cannot argue with that opening 30 minutes. They're stunning. But enough about that, that's for later. I do not think the Academy erred, though, to get to the point, in awarding Shakespeare in Love the statuette for Best Picture that year. I think it is a brilliant, brilliant comedy. And, without trying to sound too, hoity-toity or something, it's perhaps a little too erudite, probably a little too smart for a lot of people. The more you know about Shakespeare and about his plays and his life, etc., the more you're going to enjoy the movie. I mean, there's just no way getting around that. Having said that, I think it's completely accessible to somebody that doesn't know a lot about Shakespeare. You've seen Romeo and Juliet, and that's like maybe all you know. But there are, like any good comic book movie, that drops in little things for the comic book fans, Shakespeare in Love is littered with little references that are in there for the people who really like Shakespeare. It's perfectly cast. Say what you will about Gwyneth Paltrow and her obsession with performing in an English accent, but she's fantastic in it. Rafe Fiennes' his brother, Joseph Fiennes, plays Shakespeare. He's spot on perfect in the whole movie. All the supporting characters, Judi Dench, Colin Firth, Jeffrey Rush, brilliant. They're just all great. And it's one of those movies that does some anachronistic things. You know, it has, will visit like a therapist, and there's all these little touches that are, obviously invented by a modern writer, but just so funny. And the way it weaves like the story of Romeo and Juliet and other bits of Shakespeare plays. I'm a big Shakespeare fan, so I have to say that as a caveat. And material about the time that Shakespeare lived and worked into this story, this love story that's really sweet and tender. I just love it. I just think it's a fantastic, fantastic film, and I try to rewatch it as often as I can. So I'm not mad that it got the Academy Award. I think it completely deserves it. Tom Stoppard, who wrote a great play related to Shakespeare, Hamlet characters called Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, which also got made into a movie, is largely responsible for the screenplay for Shakespeare in Love. And it's really, really good. Okay, how much time do I have left? Maybe about 2 or 3 minutes. So I should be able to cover... People often ask me, okay, what's your favorite movie? And like I've said before, and I think you've seen the poster up on my wall, I usually say Jaws. But I often say, do you want me to pick something before I was born or after I was born? Because that's about 1970, and it's a good dividing line between kind of modern movies and earlier movies. And if I have to pick a movie before I was born, I usually pick 3. Bridge on the River Kwai, which I've talked about, Casablanca, which I've talked about, and Singin' in the Rain. And Singin' in the Rain often gets voted best musical of all time. And this is a 2-disc edition that I got from Warner Brothers. And it is easily... I don't know if it's the movie I've watched the most times. That probably still is Star Wars, but I've watched it a lot. When I worked at video stores all through my 20s, because, it's basically G-rated and so delightful and everybody loves it, I would put it on the TVs in the store all the time. Sing along to it. It's just got everything. The plot is amazingly crisp and fun. It's about the silent movie era. It was made in the 1950s, but it's about the silent movie era and the transition from when, they had silent movies to when they started to have talking movies. And it's a musical, so people break into song. Gene Kelly is the star. Easily one of my favorite actors of all time. Amazing dancer. Second only maybe to Fred Astaire in movie history, but I actually like Gene Kelly better, but they're both amazing. It's, the songs are great. The famous number where he is actually singing in the rain, of course, is great, but my favorite number in the whole movie is set to a song called Moses Supposes His Toes Are Roses, but Moses supposes erroneously. For all you Star Wars fans, Carrie Fisher's mother, Debbie Reynolds, is in it in one of her first screen roles when she was about 19, singing and dancing up a storm. Donald O'Connor, who is a great, great actor, has a great solo dance number called Make 'Em Laugh, where he runs up a wall and does a flip, and it's just amazing dancing and a great song. So the movie is just wall-to-wall, just smile on your face, entertainment. And I really do feel that it's the best musical of all time. It's easily in my top 5 movies of all time. If I had to pick just 5, I would easily take it with me to a desert island. I can watch it anytime you want. Pop it in, and I am good for 2 hours. So if you've never seen it, if you don't think you like musicals, whatever, try it. It's really funny. There's a sweet little romance in it too. The songs fit in perfectly. They don't take you out, except maybe one, which I won't talk about in case you haven't seen it. There's one that's just an obvious production number that's kind of like they just needed to put that song in the movie. But it really is one of my all-time favorite movies, and you really must see it. It's part of the culture now of America. Where he grabs the light post and has the umbrella and sings in the rain and does his tap dance in the puddles. So you really do owe it to yourself to see it. Okay, that's it again. I think that was only 3 movies again. Sorry, but more soon. Part 12 coming up. Thanks for watching. Bye.